Hey man, I kind of noticed you're struggling a little bit to, damage me, and, there's a new season and Final Shape coming out, and, there's a showcase. You mind if we just kind of, try another time? No? Okay, well, I'm just gonna throw those at you. Welcome back, gamers. Today I thought I'd try something a little different and do a video on something that has been neglected for a very long time, and that is Stasis. And, well, there's not a whole lot to talk about, but I did find something very interesting that I think could be both enjoyable and something somewhat meta-worthy. I wouldn't say it's gonna, like, break the game or anything, or take over, top usage or anything like that, but still a fun thing to do if you do enjoy playing Stasis, and particularly Stasis Hunter. So today we're going to be talking about damage resist to the point of where you're going to be virtually unkillable. Now, the build in question I'll go over here in a second, but I do want to dispel one quick thing real quick that some might be thinking based on seeing that meme clip in the intro with the Lost Sector boss. See, it may look like, oh, it's just a Lost Sector boss, and that doesn't really mean anything. However, here's the footage of you not doing this combo build, and how quickly you die to the very same machine gun. Now here's a demonstration of doing the combo and just seeing the difference. Finally here, let's escalate things with a couple of examples that would be just standouts to immediately tell you, hey, what the hell, this is actually kind of straw. And we're going to use some GM bosses for that. Sneak from the future here. Two things I quickly forgot to note. Number one, if you're seeing this and Devoto is not a GM for Season of the Wish, the Disgrace Strike, the answer to this is I recorded this footage prior to Season of the Wish, and I just didn't upload it yet. So if there's no GM Disgrace in Season of the Wish, this is why you're seeing that boss, in case anybody is confused. And number two, if you're enjoying the video, or maybe this build is something you're looking for, maybe consider subscribing today and or leaving a comment. It does help the channel, it's much appreciated, and it helps fight that ridiculous YouTube algorithm. Alright, that's it, let's get back to the video. Person, thing. Come on. Yep. Yep, you're definitely shooting me. That is certainly happening in this vicinity. Then, if that's not enough, here's an example of me and a friend inside the Lightblade Strike, and take a look at, well, the difference in the two of us getting shot. You're just gonna stand, like, over there, and then get the boss's attention, and just fucking eat everything.
So right here.
Yep.
And then... Uh-oh.
You know, honestly, you survived more than one hit, and that's impressive on its own. Okay, now my turn.
Because I shot it out of the air.
You suck, boss. Honestly, trash.
For a second, I thought you missed, and like, dude, you're exposed, and then you weren't dying. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yo, dumbass, send me... Yep. Yeah, nice attack, bro. Yep, 2 full shots.
Look at this
nice
fucking
job.
ass, I'm not getting my res.
So as you can see, there is a staggering difference between having no damage resist on with this build and having the build on itself, to the point of where you can start solo tanking certain things in the game that otherwise you would not be able to tank, and you would get one shot in a matter of seconds. Again, the volley from the Lightblade being a good example of that. So let's get into it and talk about what makes this build tick. Starting with the subclass screen first, we've got Silence and Squall, Gambler's Dodge, but you could do Marksman's Dodge if you'd like to reload weapons, Triple Jump, Withering Blade, Dustfield Grenade to throw on top of yourself for the slowing effect, and giving you damage reduction, on top of also giving you a Stasis Crystal, which comes into play with synergy with the rest of the build. In aspects, we have Grim Harvest, and then Touch of Winter, So your dust field has increased slow field size, and it creates the crystal that I just mentioned. Then we go on to fragments. So the main three are going to be durance, shards, and chains here. For durance, slow from your abilities last longer, and then the duration is also increased for anything that lingers. For shards, shattering a crystal, which you will have, will boost your grenade recharge rate, and if you somehow have a second crystal, it'll go even further. And then the main one here is Whisper of Chains. While you're near a frozen target or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets. Then you also have Conduction thrown in here, as well as Whisper of Rhyme, but I would say the first three are the main core that are the most important. Statistically, for the build itself, the main thing to point out is, of course, Resilience, to have as much damage reduction as possible on you, and then as well as Discipline, just to have your dust field come back as fast as humanly possible, should you need a new one. Moving on to the exotics of the build, for your armor, you have Renewal Grasps. For your dust fields, they have a much larger effect radius. Allies inside that dust field take reduced damage, and targets inside that area deal reduced damage as well. And the combo off with Renewal Grasps, we have the Navigator, the Trace Rifle exotic from the latest dungeon, Ghost of the Deep. So normally this is used to just combo off with your teammates and give your teammates and yourself Woven Mail. However, you can use this in a solo situation by simply shooting a target and proccing Woven Mail like that, and then it's going to combo off with that, plus Renewal Grasp, plus your aspects and fragments, and give you silly damage reduction overall. For the mods going to the build, I am going to be showing on screen here for people that may want to just see it on the video. However, if you want to try it out yourself, I will include a dim link in the description below in case you want to try it out yourself. But let's go over the armor now. For the helmet, there's nothing special going on here. You have Heavy Ammo Finder to find heavy ammo. You have Void Siphon or whatever kind of siphon you want to put in here, depending on the weapons you're running with the Navigator, and then Hands On, just to get bonus super energy on melee kills if you're using your shurikens a lot. For Renewal Grasp, the two mods we have in here are Grenade Kickstart. For when your grenade energy is fully expanded, you gain grenade energy. Also, when you collect an orb, like how I just mentioned with Siphon or Hands On, when you have an armor charge and it's consumed, you'll gain additional bonus grenade energy for each stack. For the chest piece, basically anything you do in the game, just match the resistance of it. For example, for Light Blade, we would do Arc Resist and maybe a Concussive Dampener. Same thing with Nevada. But if you're rocking a different Nightfall where the burn may be solar, then you just swap these out for Solar Resist, Void Resist, etc., depending on the activity. For your boots, we have 2 copies of Inversion. It reduces your grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb. Again, going back to the helmet. And then we have Stacks on Stacks. For picking up an orb, you grant 1 additional stack of armor charge, and then those charges get turned into the Grenade Kickstart, which gives you back more grenade energy to get your dust field back faster. Finally, we have the class item. We have Reaper. Every time you dodge and then get a kill with a weapon, you make an orb. That'll fuel your build more, as with all the stuff I just mentioned. And then Double Bomber reduces your grenade cooldown when using your class ability, which you will do all the time on Hunter. So just more synergy in cycling over and over to get back to your dust field to give you that max damage resist. So yeah, that's the build. Try it out for yourself and let me know what you think. Who knows, maybe going forward into Final Shape, maybe Bungie buffs Stasis or artifact mods for Stasis come out and then it becomes even more bonkers than it is right now. But until then, hopefully you enjoyed the video and the build, and if you did, like, share, subscribe, maybe leave a comment. It does help the channel and is much appreciated. Something, you know, algorithm. Anyway, catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy.